Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. It's exciting to think big, but if you're short of money or are risk averse, you may want to choose what I call a shoestring competitor. Here are examples. A number of my clients want to be in private practice and envisioned having an office. They say something like, I can't have them in my apartment, that meaning my clients. It would be inappropriate for the clients to be there. Anyway, many of those clients of mine were relieved when I suggested they start with a shoestring competitor, that is, coming to clients' homes or renting someone else's therapy office by the hour until they had plenty of clients and could afford to rent their own place full time, or simply doing all sessions by phone or Zoom. Other clients fantasized about starting a retreat center, but were quickly made more comfortable when I suggested that they could save a fortune and a lot of effort by taking their participants on day-long and maybe longer retreats in nature. That's a shoestring competitor. Still other clients dreamed of hosting their own TV show or being a news anchor, and they were relieved by the idea of starting with a shoestring competitor, a podcast or a YouTube channel, and after they'd done some episodes of that, they could decide that scratched their itch, or now they have samples to send to entities that could bring a larger audience. Other examples, you're going to divorce and would be most comfortable lawyering up. That way you can insulate yourself from some of the fighting and stress, but the cost can be enormous. Even a mediator is costly. So, even though there are advantages to working with a pro, you decide to first try a shoestring competitor. A do-it-yourself divorce, using a book to guide the two of you, such as Divorce Without Court. Maybe you'd even add a trusted friend as a mediator. And if that doesn't work, you can always hire a professional mediator or even lawyer up. Another example, your career is stalled, so you're tempted to go back to school for another degree. But daunted by the cost, you first try a shoestring competitor. Instead of state U, let alone private U, you first try U. That's a couple, let's say, for example, it'd be a couple of highly rated online courses, reading some Google-found articles, and getting mentored by a respected person in your field. And you'll keep a journal of your key learning, which you could then include when you're applying for jobs. Another example, you were intrigued by a previous one of these videos in which I touted the idea of creating a Match.com-like website for matching mentors with proteges, but you were daunted by the cost and the technical challenge. A shoestring competitor would be to have mentors and proteges complete a form, either online or pencil and paper in person, and you match them up and be available to address problems. At minimum, that could be a proof of concept pilot test, which then, with lessons learned and benefits documented, be used to obtain funding for a full-blown version. Another example, you're tempted to write a book, maybe on some aspect of psychology or the great American novel. To avoid being one of the countless would-be authors who never finish their book, you could opt for a shoestring competitor. Write a blog post, a short story, or a piece of flash fiction. That's something that's under 1,000 words. Another example, you're tempted to go into therapy, psychotherapy, but are daunted by the cost. So you try a shoestring competitor. Co-counseling, where you and a trusted friend listen to and perhaps advise each other. If that doesn't work, you can always hire a pro. Another example, you're tired of the same old budget vacations, but gulp at the thought of spending $2,000 for a week at a luxury resort. So, you decide on a shoestring competitor. Stay at a low-cost nearby hotel and spend much of your days at the luxury resort, wandering, lunching, and if allowed, using the pool and other facilities. Even if you have to pay a fee for the latter, it's far less expensive. And a final example, you'd like to start a business, but are daunted at the thought of writing one of those thick business plans. A shoestring competitor would be to do as was done in starting a number of successful businesses and products on the back of a napkin, and then perhaps just a few-page mini business plan. That could include just a description of the product, how you'd market it, projected income and expenses, and yeah, that's largely guesswork, and how you'd raise the money for startup, and money enough until the business was self-supporting. So, are you considering a major expenditure of money or time, or already spending significant money or time? If so, might you want to at least try, at least for starters, a shoestring competitor. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.